Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Today I'm going to be unboxing the Castles and Crusades starter set. So if you've been following my channel for any period of time now, you will know that I am a sucker for starter sets. I even have a whole series dedicated to just reviewing them, which I do plan on getting back to. It's been a little bit of a gap, but we've also been in the middle of a pretty dry, dusty, heat wavy spell, which has been very difficult to have the energy to come down and record even on the even in the basement. It does start to get pretty warm here when we're in 30 plus degree temperature days, so I do want to get back into that, but this is a new starter set to add to potential of that series. So I'll be putting up a poll for which should be the next starter set that I review after the one I'm going to be covering this upcoming weekend, and this will be definitely added to that rotation. Now, interestingly, when this arrived in the mail to me, this is exactly how it appeared, so it didn't have any shrink wrap or sticker seals or anything on it there. I'm not sure how that would relate to actual retailer copies if you were to get this at your local game store. I'm sure that those ones will either have a sticker seal on it at the very least, or the game store owners might need to do something, because having it so that it's completely accessible and people can just open up the boxes, as sad as it is in this day and age, that can cause I guess in the retail industries, I think it's called shrink. Or loss, basically. So, well, if you have a game store, if you've seen this at your local game store, let me know in the comments if it's actually shrink wrapped there, or if they have at least some stickers to seal the box up so you can't just open it up there at the game store, or if it's exactly how it came to me. Let me know that if you guys have these at your local game store. But yeah, this is the starter set for Castles and Crusades. This is from Troll Lord Games. And this is effectively or generally referred to as what would have been Gary Gygax's third edition of the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game. And I can definitely see that. I have the core rule books as well as the Castle Keeper screen, and I really do like the system that they have, like the Siege rule set there, with it's all ability checks kind of concept. And yeah, I think it's a really cool system. Things that you're particularly proficient in. It is a rollover system, but things that you're particularly proficient in has a lower DC for you to try to, or target number for you to try to match, versus things that you're less proficient in. There's primary attributes, I think, so things related to that. That's sort of how they derive those numbers. But anyway, we'll see what we have here. I do like the cover art on the box here. You got a group of adventurers. You've got the elven archer, sort of like your classic adventuring party. You got your human fighter there. You got your dwarves, and then you got the wizard that's looking a little concerned because the bridge collapsed in front of them. Um, as they're being chased by what I assume to be a group of goblins or something there. So really, really cool. On the back of the box, we just have the description of sort of what the contents and things are. This does retail for $29.99 US dollars. Canadian, it can vary depending on where you get it from. Some places like to charge closer to the US price. Some will charge based on conversion, and then a little bit extra just to make sure that if the dollar changes. I mean, I don't know exactly how every store does it. There's one place that I know of that will charge you based off of how much they can find for the highest price on eBay to restock, and I'm not going to go any further than that. If you know, you know. But let's see what we got here. So we got 3 booklets. Oh, book 1 is character creation. It's all about the players. That's awesome. Okay, includes an immersive and detailed example of play. Book 2 is directing the game, so for the Castle Keeper, and book 3 would be the adventure. So that's really, really cool. 3 to 8 first level characters. The starter set also contains character sheets, and dice are included. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this opened up here. All right, so first thing we've got is the dice. So this is a 7 die set, but nice contrasty numbers and die color. So it's got the yellow kind of metallic swirl pattern. So it's not just your flat, primary colors and the black numbers. It actually does have kind of that swirl pattern, which is nice to see. And you've got your D4, your D6, your D8, your 2 percentile dice, your D12, and your D20. I do kind of wish it would have come in a resealable, like little mini Ziploc bag, but that's okay. I've got tons of dice. These will just sit in the box set as is. And then we got our character creation booklet, so we'll take a look at that first. All right. And, okay, so it looks like it's going to be presented in black and white, but the artwork still, for the most part, it's like where the shadows are, it's a little dark and kind of hard to see, but I think the artwork works pretty well for that. So we got the example of play, we got the what is a role-playing game, example of your first adventure. So it kind of goes over some of the mechanics there. Maybe not necessarily the mechanics so much as just the concepts behind them. That's a pretty cool looking bit of art there, and so is that. But yeah, even in black and white, that looks really, really good. Going over what the different dice types are. And how to read the percentile dice, because that has become... and I think I've finally figured out, there was... I forget what's... Okay, I thought I had it figured out. There was an RPG out there where the 1 on the tens digit die would count as 10. And I forget which system it was. Because a friend and I, we've sort of had this debate where he thought that the one that had like the 1 and 0, like because it was 10 on the tens digit there, or on the tens die, would be added to whatever was rolled. So if you rolled... Anyway, to get the 100, you had to roll... you had to roll 90 on the percentile dice, then you had to roll 10 on the singles die. So there was a system that did actually use that version of the mechanics, but most percentile games, you need to roll like the double zeros, and then the 0 on the regular D10 would be your... so I can see. So here we got the die there. So to get 100 on this one, you'd have to get double zeros on this die, and then on this die you'd have to roll the 0 as well. But there was a system out there that that if this came up, or if this would be labeled as I think this would actually be labeled like 1 through 10. So if this came up as a 10, you would add it to what was rolled here. So to get 100% on that one, you'd have to have rolled a 9 on this die, and then the 10. It was weird, but I think we kind of figured that out. But yeah, for this one, double zeros, or triple zeros, I guess. Double on the 1 on the 10s, and the regular 0 on the D10 gives you 100. Percentiles don't come up very often, but it does tell you how to read that die, and that is cool because, again, it has become the subject of some debate online, and I think it's just due to familiarity with one specific rule system, which I wish I could remember what it was now. No, I can't. I'm not even going to venture a guess because I know I'm going to get it wrong. But yeah, so it goes over the attributes, the different character generation steps, and then we've got our classes. So you have the cleric, fighter, your classic, group of starting characters. We got our rogue for our thief, and we got our wizard for our magic user there. Dwarves, elves, halflings, and humans are included. And the combat rules, weapon tables, armor tables, and then there's spell casting. So that's really cool to see. All right, so that is the character creation book. Up next, we've got directing the game, and this one is okay. Also, it looks. I thought this was staple bound, but I think it's actually got like a glue binding like the other one there. So again, we'll go over, just kind of flip through. Going over the different attributes, the siege engine, combat procedure, designing encounters, and then some monsters and stuff in there as well. Their descriptions. I think this might have been better served with a staple bind, because at least with mine it's a little rumply there in the middle, but it'll still do the job. Then the final book. And they do also have the nice like glossy covers there, which is kind of cool to see. Same kind of binding as the Castle Keepers, but this is our scenario, and I really don't want to spoil too much there, but there's some cool artwork again, kind of scattered throughout there. Kind of a short scenario, but you're teaching the game, so that's perfectly fine. There's information on designing your own encounters, so you're probably going to be given more monsters, I would say, in the Castle Keepers book than you'd actually use in the scenario. So there is some, incentive to create your own stuff going forward as well, which is really, really cool. And then we've got our character sheet. So this seems to be pretty simplistic, and I am totally down with that. So we got the character name, class, race, languages, experience, and their level, a description, racial abilities, class abilities, then your attributes here, your money, your spell slots, your attacks, hit points, and armor class. So everything you need there. It looks like it's single-sided. And you get 3 character sheets. So, okay. So 3 character sheets in the box. But these are, again, really easy to just do on paper. And again, you should be able to photocopy these as well. So, you got pretty easy access. And I know, like, not everybody's like me, but these sheets, even if I were to run the starter set, these sheets would never be touched. They would be photocopied, but they would never be. I would never use the ones that actually come with the box there. So, first impressions, again, just from the unboxing here. Overall, I think this is a pretty good. I think this is a pretty good starter set. I think, again, the one thing I would probably change is I would probably change the binding on the thinner books to a simple staple bind, just because it does make kind of opening up the books in the middle there looks a little crinkly, and maybe it's just the copy that I got, so it's not a deal breaker or anything like that. But the thicker character book works really, really well for that. The dice are nice and legible, easy to read, which is great. It comes with character creation, which I'm a big fan of. I think the only thing is that if it supports 3 to 8 players, or 3 to 8 characters at the table, the only thing I really would have changed is I would have had a character sheet for each person that it could support. But the character sheet is very simple, and it would be very easy just to write it out on a piece of loose leaf or scrap paper or whatever, and run them that way. So it's fine. It's a nitpick. It's definitely not, again, anything that I would consider a deal breaker. But yeah, I would say that if it can support up to 8 players, if the scenario can support up to 8 players, it would be nice to have those 8 character sheets in there, or at least 4 character sheets and have sort of half the number there. But again, small thing, I would never use an included character sheet, so it could just have 1 for me, and that would be enough. But I know there are people out there that will actually use the included sheet and stuff, so having at least 4 would have been nice, to have 1 for each of the core, each of the classes that's in there. But that's, again, a very, very minor nitpick, and overall, I think this is a really cool starter set, which I put in upside down. We'll fix that later. But yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this a deeper look here. So it will be added to the starter set Saturday poll that's going to be going up very, very shortly as I work on the current episode. That'll be out this weekend, and this will be thrown in there. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Castles and Crusades role-playing game, and once they announced the starter set, I immediately went and pre-ordered it, and to my own detriment, because I did this late at night, and I had created an account to view their website previously, because it auto-loaded, or I selected the wrong address. I just wasn't paying attention, and I had it initially being sent to my previous apartment, the one that we moved away from when we bought the house. So I was like, well, that was wrong. So I just pushed through a second order for the proper address, and I was able to get them to cancel the order that went to the wrong location, and got the refund for that. So it was fine. But yeah, I guess the moral of the story is, if you're going to purchase something at like 2 o'clock in the morning, double check everything, triple check everything before you click complete purchase. But yeah, so this is really cool. It's going to be going up on my shelf. Let me know in the comments below. Have you picked up the Castles and Crusades starter set? If so, have you played through it? What are your thoughts on it? Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid starter overall. A few minor, like, nitpicky things, but ultimately, I think this is a really good addition to your collection if you're looking to get started on the Castle Crusades game. This is a great way to do it. Anyway, thank you all so very much for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care.